In today's video, we have a look at solving a heat issue with my Raspberry Pi 5 8GB model. I have a case with heat sinks and a fan, but under load the Pi is still running at about 75 to 80 degrees Celsius, which is no good, especially when I want it to run 24/7. So I put my creative thinking skills to the test. I have no spare funds to go buy new things to solve this issue, so I've had to use what I've got laying around. And thankfully, I have some great things in my stash to help me solve the problem. I found a USB blower fan that I bought off AliExpress a while ago for about 3 Aussie bucks. A used AM5 motherboard which I have stashed as I busted the socket in it, a very expensive mistake mind you. And now it's just a parts holder as I can't be bothered replacing the socket in it. I found a M.2 heatsink from an old motherboard that I can't seem to find. I've got Kapton tape, or Goldfinger tape, some M3 double-sided tape, and a bunch of tools just to get me started on working with this, and my brother's vernier calipers. Given these parts, I tried to find which would be the best fit for the solution, and it turns out the chipset heatsink from the AM5 motherboard was the best fit, though I had to trim the GPIO pins with a flush cutter and wrap the non-essential areas of the heatsink with some Kapton tape so I don't short anything on the board. I also found some Arctic Silver 5 in my stash. Very lucky find. It's a brand new tube too. This will be perfect to put a thin layer between the massive chipset heatsink, geez that's a mouthful, and the existing ones on the board. Once I put all that together using the M3 tape and one of those squishy cubes that came off the back of the chipset heatsink, while I cleaned off the old thermal paste to apply pressure to the sink as the cover of the case goes on, so that it properly conducts the heat, I plugged it back in, and originally without the USB blower fan, as I didn't think it was going to do much because it didn't spin very fast. I booted up Azeroth core server and I checked the temps. Great, it's down by about 20 degrees from idle to startup, but it climbs quite high to about 60 degrees still. With that, I went and grabbed the blower fan, positioned it in an extraction fan style on top of the case, checked the temps again, and this is fantastic. I got the temps down further to about 53 to 55 degrees under load, which is perfect. That's exactly what I want. The mass of the new heatsink, the thermal paste between the small original heatsink that I had and the new heatsink along with the blower fan have solved my heating problem. Yay! I now have myself a private World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King server with player bots, auto balancing, a reagent bank, and a fix for the Nax and Onyxia raids that without the fix would cause an infinite loop crash on the client if I disconnected within one of those raids, either on purpose or by accident. If you want to make your own server, there's links in the description, but be warned, the text guide from those tutorials shouldn't be followed verbatim if you're doing the same as me. You want to avoid editing the Debian shell file, as I use Ubuntu, not Debian, and you want to make sure that you run your servers once, that's both the auth and world servers, before you try and do any SQL update commands such as renaming the realm or adding the IP address that it needs to run on, or broadcast, because those database tables will not exist until you have run those servers. And don't try to do any hacky way around it. You want Azeroth Core to handle the SQL schema so that there's no chance of anything getting screwed up. And then you go in and make your changes afterwards. Anyways, thanks for watching, homies. Hope you enjoyed this little interesting video. Get out there and start tinkering. Until next time, see ya.